So I just came across this new open source OS project called ravynOS, and it's aiming to mimic macOS. Wait, can you believe that?
Really, that's intriguing. I mean, macOS is so polished. What makes their approach stand out?
Right, they're trying to build on FreeBSD, which is already a solid base. I find that connection fascinating.
Absolutely. FreeBSD has a great reputation for stability and security. But how do they ensure compatibility with macOS applications?
They're focusing on source compatibility, which means you could compile macOS apps directly on ravynOS. That's pretty ambitious.
Wow, that's unexpected. But doesn't that assume developers will want to switch to this new platform?
Good point. I wonder how much incentive there is for developers to adapt. It could be a hurdle.
Then there's the GUI aspect. They want to replicate the user experience of macOS. Do you think that's enough?
It might help users transition, but is it just imitation? I wonder if they'll innovate on that front.
That's interesting. But if they're just copying, are they really offering anything new? Or is it more about familiarity?
Exactly, they also want to keep the macOS folder structures, which feels like a double-edged sword.
Right? It makes it easier for users coming from macOS, but it could stifle creativity in file management.
Oh, and they're working on self-contained applications, kind of like app bundles. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, that's appealing. But what about the limitations of those formats? Could they constrain app functionality?
That's a fair concern. It might simplify things, but at what cost? Developers might want more flexibility.
And they're also aiming for compatibility with Linux binaries. It's like they're trying to be a Swiss Army knife for OSes.
Totally, but I wonder how well that Linux support will actually work in practice.
True, the evidence for seamless compatibility is often mixed. It could lead to frustration.
Speaking of evidence, their goal for eventual compatibility with macOS binaries is ambitious. Do we think that's realistic?
That's a stretch, honestly. The tech hurdles involved are significant, but I admire their courage.
For sure, it's nice to see new ideas in the OS space, even if they're facing uphill battles.
And they emphasize security and performance. Those are critical features, but how do we measure that?
Measuring security is tricky, and what about performance? It's so context dependent.
Exactly. It could perform well for some use cases, but not for others. That variability is challenging.
So if we put all this together, it feels like Raven OS is offering a tantalizing mix of familiarity and ambition.
Absolutely. But they'll need to overcome significant barriers to make it more than just a novelty.
And user adoption is key. If users don't see the value, it might struggle to gain traction.
That's the million-dollar question. What will attract users? It's a fine line between innovation and imitation.
I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on their progress. I'm curious to see how it evolves.
For sure. And it's exciting to think about the potential of open-source projects to shake things up.
Exactly. It reminds me that even established markets can still see revolutionary changes.
And it's a good reminder of how collaborative efforts can lead to innovation in the tech space.
Absolutely, but as we discussed, there are still many questions left unanswered.
Yeah, like how will they handle updates, user support, and community engagement?
Exactly, those aspects are crucial for any OS project. It's all about the ecosystem surrounding it.
And that can really make or break a platform. Let's keep our ears to the ground on this.
Definitely, it's going to be an interesting journey. I can't wait to see what unfolds.
Same here, who knows? Maybe we'll find ourselves using Raven OS down the line.
Wouldn't that be something? I love the idea of an open source alternative shaking up the status quo.
Absolutely. And it's a great reminder of how innovation can come from unexpected places.
Totally, in the end, it's all about providing value to users and fostering a vibrant community.
For sure. So, what do you think would be the first steps for them to gain traction?
They'll need a strong marketing strategy, but also a solid user support system to build trust.
Good points. If they can create buzz and deliver on their promises, they might just succeed.
Exactly, and that could inspire other projects as well. It's an exciting time for tech.
Indeed, let's see where this journey takes them. It could redefine what we expect from an OS.